Hi, crafty friends, I'm back. Okay, did you ever have one of those days where you're like, okay, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this. And then a wrench gets thrown in, and you can't even talk. A wrench gets thrown into your plans, and they change. Well, that was the day for me. And when I tell y'all that the crazy things happen to me on a regular basis, here's a prime example. So, I think I'm going to do one of these widgets while I'm talking to you. Okay? So, I'm going to just do a little coloring while we're talking first. Okay, so my daughter calls, and she had a storage unit with her furniture and some of her stuff in it from when her and the kids moved in with us. And we transferred all that stuff to a closer one that is a little smaller and was cheaper, and we did that not this past weekend, but the weekend before that. Okay, so when she stored her stuff over there, her father-in-law brought these pallets for her furniture to go on, because this was just like an, cement floor outdoor storage unit. And we were a little concerned that, like, if it came a heavy rain or something like that, and, water might get in there and damage anything that was sitting right on the ground. So he brought these 2 huge pallets. So anyway, when we emptied everything out, we left those pallets. So they call today and say, the pallets have to come out today or we're charging you for the month of September. Okay, well, everybody's at work except for me. So, luckily, I drive an Expedition, so, I felt like I could get them in my truck if I could pick them up. So, now keep in mind, this is a vehicle that's got 2 car seats, a stroller, because I take care of the kids, and I take them to school and pick them up, and, So I tell Nick, okay, don't worry, I'll do what I can. So here I go. Well, it's a gated storage unit, and you have to have a code to get in and a code to get out. So, I don't know what this is right here. I'm cutting it off. Just like that. And I'm also cutting the broom out of her hand. And, so anyway, I get over there. I'm cutting that off of her neck. There we go. Much more witchly. So I get over there and I punch in her code, because at the time I have, oh, that doesn't look good. Sorry. Okay, that's better. Now, let me get rid of those bits and pieces. So I get over there, I punch in the code, and it says access denied. Okay, the story of my life. So I punch it in again. Well, as I'm punching it again, I put my finger, like, say this is the box. Here's the keypad. And I put my finger right there, and I start punching buttons, and it shocks me. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't need that today. So I punched it again. Still says access denied. So I'm thinking, did I remember the wrong code? That's a possibility with me. So I send Nick a text and say, what's the code? Did I put the wrong code in? She's like, no, that's the right code. So she said, just go to the office. And I'm like, well, it doesn't appear as though anybody is in the office. But, okay, I will. So I go try to open the office door. And I can't. It's locked. And so there's like this intercom system. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe that's a safety measure. So I push the buzzer. Nothing. So then it says, do you want to leave a message? So I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe somebody is in there somewhere and can hear me. And if I leave a message, then they'll come, you know, because obviously I don't really feel like I look like a criminal, but these days, who knows? So I leave a message, you know, explaining my whole yarn, and nothing. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, so they call her to come get them out, yet there's no way for her to get them out because they've blocked her code. Huh. So then I see this broke down car pull up to the gate. So I am like burning rubber to get behind it, because I know if they have an access code and they get in, if I get close enough to their bumper, I'm coming in too. And I do. I go right in, go right up to the storage unit, and there's the pallets. Well, then I open the back of my Expedition, and there's a case of water in there that my husband did not get out, that I got for him at Costco, the stroller, a box of, you know, stuff you have when there's kids in the car with you, and then their car seats are in the seat. And so I'm thinking, huh, these are the biggest pallets I've ever seen. So I move the car seats, fold the seats up, move the stroller, move the water, and y'all know how big a case of water is. Okay, so then I walk the pallet over to my car, pick it up, you know, slide it in. It lacks about that much, the door closing. So then I'm like, okay. So then I have to wrestle the stroller some more, wrestle the car seats, you know, the whole 9 yards, wrestling. I get it wrestled. I go back around. I push. I'm in. But wait, there's another pallet. So, you know, Expeditions aren't exactly low to the ground. So here I am. I pick this other pallet up, put it on top, slide it in with all my might, and I'm in. The door closes. So I'm like, okay, that part's done. Now I can't get out. I'm locked in this place because you got to have a code to get out. So I see at the very end of the building, there's somebody out there working in their little unit. So I just think, well, I'll just drive down there and ask them if they'll either let me out or give me their code. So I drive down there. And so this man, you know, it's 98 degrees and 98% humidity here. And he is sweating like I would be sweating if I was sweating, but not like him. Dripping with sweat. And I said, could you help me? And he grins from ear to ear and comes right over to the door. And I'm like, uh-oh. And he said, sure. What do you need? And I said, well, you know, I got these 2 pallets. I had to load these 2 pallets. I had to follow somebody to get in. And now I need to get out. And I can't get out because I don't have a code. And he said, whoa, you mean you're telling me that you put those 2 pallets in your truck by yourself? And I was like, yeah. And his whole facial expression changed. And he was like, yeah, you got a piece of paper. I'll give you the code. I guess he was thinking, if this chick can hoist around some pallets, this is as far as I'm going with this conversation. He gave me the code. I got up there, pushed the code in, zoom, got home. Of course, then I had to unload the pallets again because I can't go pick the kids up from school because their car seats were not in the seats, you know. And so my husband's calling me going, you know, you can leave them in there. I'm like, no, I can't. What am I going to do with the kids? Oh, well, just don't hurt yourself. How does that go? Anyway, I didn't hurt myself. The pallets are here. The unit is empty. I'm safe. And I have to create now. So, here's my little witch. Now, enough of that. This is the kind of stuff I always get myself into. So, I colored the cat in the hat in her, in her shoes. And so, now I'm going to show you how I made her dress. So, I just unrolled a length of crepe paper, and then I tore it. My favorite one has a teared. Oh, where did that English come from? Torn edges. Okay, so just tear that off. Now then, see how this cat is standing on her behind? I think that's fabulous. Okay, so then you just kind of pretend, you know, you're gathering. Kind of like you would do a rosette, but, you know, a little less perfect because, let's face it, she's a witch. Her dress is not perfect. And I think the more kind of wonky it looks, the better. And so I would just say to turn the bottom edge under like that. Okay? And start at the bottom because you want her to have ruffles. Okay? Cover it up with glue. And then, let's see, I need to run that up a little bit higher. Okay, so I want her dress to be about right there. Okay. So, you just mash it on. Voila. Could have made it a little shorter so her legs would show. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I'm good. Just get it up to the edge. And if you don't, you know, you can always take a black marker and fix it in the end. Okay. Pretty fun, huh? Okay. All right. Add a little bit more glue right there because that's where I pulled it up. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let that dry for just 1 second. I'm gonna take my Wink of Wagman and go over my cat. Now, I used a Tombow marker, and you know, they're water-based, so it probably would have been better if I used a Sharpie. But, you know, that's how I roll. So, all you gotta do in that case is wipe it off. No harm, no foul. Okay. Now my little kitty's sparkly. Okay. Now I'm gonna take another piece of crepe paper. I'm gonna tear it. And while I'm doing this, I have to tell y'all about the sequel to the parking lot adventure of, do you recognize this man? Okay, so a few weeks after that mishap, I was back at the grocery store parking lot, and my sister-in-law was with me, and we pull up in the parking lot, and like catty-cornered across in front of us is a car, and it has 3 kids in it. And I'm talking like kids that are probably 2, 3, and 4. They were little stair-step kids. You know, not far apart in age. Too little to be in the car by themselves. No adult anywhere. And so I said to my sister-in-law, can you believe that somebody would leave their kids in the car? They must not know what kind of stuff goes on in this parking lot. I'm not going in until she comes out. Because I have to tell her she has to be careful with her babies. You know, good deed doer that I am. So, in the meantime, this truck pulls in right in front of me with this guy in it. And he is grinning at me, and I said to my sister-in-law, what a creepster! And she said, well, we're for sure not going anywhere now. There's no way we can leave those kids, you know, with no supervision with him sitting there. And why isn't he getting out? Okay, he never glances at the kids. Never. He is too busy making creepster faces at us. So, I wait. And finally, the woman, the mother of these children, comes out. And so I get out and I said, excuse me, there's a man right there. And you know, a few weeks ago, there was a picture of a man's parts put in my car. And, you know, it's really not safe for you to leave your kids in the car. And then that man right there pulled up, and he is a creepster. He has just been making all these faces, and, you know, you need to be careful with your babies. It's just not safe. And what do you think she said? That creepster is my husband. Okay. So, at that point, I said, well, your husband's a creepster. That's all I knew to say. And I went in the store. I had the best of intentions. I did not want anything to happen to those precious babies. And, that's all I say. So, that's the kind of things that happen to me. Like I said, I have the best of intentions. It just doesn't always work out so well. Just like when I got home, my husband said, what were you going to do if you were stuck in there? I said, oh, I'd have figured out something. There was no way I was going to say. He said, I don't like you just rolling up and talking to strange men. I said, I got out, didn't I? I said, don't worry, I could have hurled a pallet at him. Okay, look at her fancy dress. She kind of looks like a showgirl witch, doesn't she? Okay, now, then the next thing to decide is if I want this one to have, I think I will just make her sleeve ruffled, and I'll color the top part of her dress. I'm not sure if that's a collar. She has extremely skinny back, and those are backbones. I don't know. Anyway, we'll just go with it. I may trim that off. Do y'all ever do that? You get a die, and you're like, what is that? I don't really know what that was supposed to be right there. Then somebody can probably say, oh, you nut, it's this. Okay. Okay, then. I'm a nut. I'll admit it. Okay, so let's take one of these little pieces. Maybe that's too skinny. I don't know that I can manipulate that. Maybe all these are too skinny. Okay, let me get me another piece. So anyway, now I'm home again. The safety of my home. Playing. Because I need some stress relief now. For sure. And after I do this, I had to tell y'all my story. I had to share it with you. Then I'm starting on No Paper Left Behind. I promise. Oh, and speaking of No Paper Left Behind, Tamika K is her channel name. She has been doing No Paper Left Behind with us. And y'all have to go see. This month, she did, I think it was called World Traveler. She made a briefcase, and it has a whole story involved. Like, it's everything a man would need in his briefcase if he were traveling. It is so well thought out, and so, it's just amazing. And y'all, you got to go subscribe to her. She's awesome. I was like, I sent her a message, and I said, girl, we got to get you some more people watching this stuff, because it's, you know, it's awesome. She did an awesome job. And like I said, so well thought out and executed too. I mean, he's got his passport, he's got some place to write notes, he's got a map, he's got everything. It's amazing. So, oh, that is one ruffledy sleeve. She must be from the Victorian era. What do y'all think? So, you know, crepe paper is pretty easy to just manipulate. Okay. Now, let me get let's see, a red. Oh, maybe I'll use a colored pencil. Uh-oh. There was a crash. Look. My Dina pencil. Hey, girl. Okay, let's find an orange that is a little bit darker. Let's see. Terracotta. Okay. Okay, so this is where our arm is. We're just going to give her a little bit of an arm right here, a little bit of shadow. And whatever that hump is on her back has got to go. I'm not feeling a ruffle right now back there. There we go. She should have had a big hump. Okay, so I'm going to shade that a little bit around the edges. Give it a little dimension. Okay, that's her other arm. Wow, that other arm went right down into the table. Let me fix that sleeve. Uh-oh. Okay. Now let me put a little bit more glue on there. See how easy that is? And, you know, your possibilities are limitless. Maybe I need to make her some sort of a little collar. Let's see. Let's see what kind of scrap I got over here. Oh yeah, I think that looks pretty good. There we go. Okay. Now, okay, I'll get her on white so y'all can see her. Okay, then for her face, let's see. What do I want to do for her face? Let's give her some nostrils. Well, that's her hair. I'm going to cover that up with cobwebs, so. Okay, gotta give her an eye. And some wrinkles on her neck. Can y'all see that? Oh, yeah. Now, let's give her some fingers where she's holding on to something, like her hands bent like this, like that. I'll shade around that just a touch. Okay, let me take a little bitty micron. That's a 3. All right, let's give her an eye. Oh, make it just a little bit bigger. Give her a little, just a dab of a nose. Oh, she's happy. She wouldn't be if she knew that wart on her nose was black. Okay, and then I'm going to take a white gel pen. And let's give some highlights on her clothes. And the kitty. Okay. Uh-oh, her shoes. Gotta do a little something with her shoes. All right. Now then, for the hair, this is black cobweb. Okay. So, you know, you can manipulate this stuff however you want to. Whee! That's why the cat's mad. Her hair's in his face. So I'm just going to put glue right there. Tuck this in behind the cat so he doesn't have to be quite so mad, but he's still pretty angry. I'm going to get some red stickles and give him some angry eyes. Okay. Just like that. And maybe I'll give him green ones this time. Hang right there. Oh, yeah. What about these yellow neon eyes? That's a scary cat. Set a little touch right there. Oh yeah. Okay, then I want to put some glossy accents on her shoes because, you know, witches like to have shiny shoes. That's what I hear anyway. Okay. And I think she needs a tiny little jewel on her hat and one on her shoes. Let's see. Where's my jewels? Okay. Now, since I already have glossy accents on her shoes, whoa! This will stick. And also to my hand. There. Oh, yes. But let me put one right here. Oh, you know what would be cute? Those tiny little stars. Okay. I get a little too excited making stuff sometimes. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to show y'all how easy this is. Okay. And that'll dry clear. And there you are. Easy, easy. And how long did that take? Oh, 27 minutes. Okay, so y'all have a super fantastic day. I'm going to try to stay out of trouble, but it's not always the easiest thing for me. Okay, love you guys. Make sure you check out Tamika K. Okay? Blessings.